Just what's been your journey? I know you initially were going to go to Tulane, and I know things have really gone awry, and now here you are at Duquesne.
Yeah, things have been pretty interesting. Originally going to play at Tulane for Coach Hunter, and then while I was there, I got interest to go play professional overseas. But my family and I discussed things, and due to COVID and certain things going on, I wasn't comfortable as a family going over there and playing, just with a lot of uncertainty in the world. So we decided for my career and everything going on due to COVID to come back and play in college.
Sure. And what was it for you that put Duquesne over the edge for you that made Duquesne the decision? Was it the local familiarity? Was it what Dambrot and the staff offered? What stuck out to you?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not actually from here. I'm from California, so uh, I wouldn't say the local part, but just Coach Dambrot and I do like Pittsburgh. I'm drawn to Pittsburgh. Obviously, playing at Pitt last year. So Coach Dambrot's a good coach. I got a good coaching staff, and the way they play, I like how they throw it inside and throw it out, shoot. Just I felt like it was a good fit.
What was it? What did you do in terms of staying in basketball shape between this whole stretch and now? I mean, coming in maybe puts you a little bit behind the eight ball in terms of knowing the guys, knowing the system, knowing yourself. Just what kind of challenges did it pose, and how did you embrace those?
In California, a lot of stuff is closed down. There's not a lot of gym access. Luckily, a good friend of mine, Drew Holiday, he plays for the Bucks. Shout out to Drew and Mike G. I got to work out with him every day, which was great. Staying at his house some nights, staying in the gym with him, basketball gym at Mamba Academy while things were open. So it was weird though. Usually pickups going on in the summer, guys are having workouts. So I was just doing whatever I could, going on a run, getting shots up as much as I can at a gym, just sneaking into some gyms as well. So
What was it like sneaking into gyms? How did you, I guess that we can say it on the record now, just how are you able to get away with it?
you gotta have a friend with a key. You gotta know someone who has a key. Um, my local high school was closed. It was hard. You had to know someone who had a connection to get into a gym. It was pretty cool, actually, in our backyard. We hooked up a court. So me and my little brothers were out there getting shots up. Luckily, we got a shooting gun as well. So we were out there all the time just shooting and just doing ball handling stuff outside. Luckily, it's a little different than Pittsburgh. It's nice weather, a little hotter. So we were just outside getting our work in.
How during this break did it help you either physically from understanding things, mentally from understanding things? How did this break maybe make you a better basketball player, maybe help you understand things more?
That's a good question. It taught me to be patient. One thing about my basketball career is it's been nuts. I know a lot of people have always had a lot to say about me transferring and going from place to place. And, it teaches you to be patient and kind of have a respect for the game. Like I miss playing. I miss practice, miss getting shots up, miss, your teammates and playing. So taught me just to be patient, not rush.
What was it like getting in with these guys? It seems like you're a natural leader, but obviously when you come into a new system, you have to get guys to buy in and you also have to know your place as well. How did you find that balance?
Yeah, every day I'm still the new guy. This whole year I'm the new guy. Over time that won't be the case, but for right now I'm still the new guy on the block who went to Pitt right down the road, which is the rival. So, you got to learn everyone's personality. There are certain ways you can talk to certain guys and explain things to certain guys. And for example, with Michael Hughes, with Big Mike over there, I know for a fact that I can talk to him a little different than I can talk to somebody else. So it's just about apparently Mike doesn't like me right now, so I'm about to go over there and slap him on his back. But you got to learn how to talk to different guys and bond with guys, and it takes time.
How is it with the playbook? Obviously, Coach Capel has a way of doing things, and of course, Dambrot likes going inside out. Just how has it been embracing the playbook, and also with COVID, embracing the fact that the playbook might present different challenges?
Yeah, last year at Pitt, we had an inside presence, but it wasn't nearly as dominant as Marcus and Michael and Roche. Being able to dump it in, kind of let them go to work. We were more of a guard-oriented team at Pitt. And every coach is different. Every team has a different philosophy on how to do things, even practice, the way they live, stretch, etc. So kind of like I reiterated, it's like just learn a whole new thing all over again, but getting used to it. you got to come in every day, like open to learning. That's what it is.
How challenging was it? Obviously, the team was kind of in a little bit of a quarantine situation when you first officially came here, when it was first announced. Just how was it getting practices in with either not a full roster or things being a little bit more individualized?
It's been difficult. It's really hard to not have everyone one day, and then next day you have everyone, and then all of a sudden one guy's down, and three guys are down. So, like I said, it's kind of weird. You just got to be patient and quickly adapt to the environment you're in. Changes, guys here, guys not here. Kind of a next man up mentality. Like, I know I don't know all the plays. I know I don't particularly know everything that Coach Dambrot's calling. So you just kind of have to be ready to adapt and learn and listen.
How was the DC trip for you? Just not only playing basketball on a court in a game again, but just experiencing it with these guys in this kind of a stretch after what's been a lot of inactivity.
It's different. It's weird. My last game was versus NC State at Pitt. Versus Pitt in where I forgot where we were, maybe North Carolina. So it's been weird. You go all that time without playing a real game. And thinking you're going to go overseas. At one point, my bag was packed and I was getting ready to go, and then really talked about it. So it's a big adjustment, and it's been weird, but I kind of love it.
What is it that you love about it the most right now?
I would say just having fun again. Like, your biggest worry of the day is getting extra shots up, getting your extra lifting, getting rehab and treatment. Making sure, you remember those two plays from yesterday. I think it's just fun. It's fun. Like, you miss it. And for guys who really love basketball, there's not much better than waking up and having to go get shots up and have practice.
The other day when you had the chance to play the home opener, I guess, so to speak, just what was it like? It was clear that you had some comfortability on the court. It was clear that you, regardless of score, were providing a lead from a leadership standpoint. Just what was it like for you out there?
It felt good. Obviously, I'm not playing as much as I did at Pitt, or not. This is probably the lowest amount I've ever played in my life. But it's a trust thing. It comes with trust. But I was just happy to be out there. Obviously, as time goes on, I'm going to get more shots up, going to get more touches, more comfortable. But for now, I'm just happy, enjoying it.
Basketball, you obviously had a family history with it. Your father obviously played at the collegiate level. Just what was it that drew you to basketball? Was it his passion? Just how did you discover it?
Yeah, my dad played at the University of Bridgeport, and then he played in Egypt for a little bit. So it's kind of just been passed down. My family and both my little brothers are both now getting recruited by Division I schools. It's kind of just in our family.
From a competition standpoint, just how were those family battles, whether it's 1-on-1, 2-on-2? Just are there any stories that stick out in your mind?
Yeah, my dad can still beat my youngest brother. So I hope he sees this so he gets mad and they go play. But, yeah, we've had some battles outside.
What were the battles like, I guess, during this COVID? I mean, that's pretty much, for the most part, all you really had to look forward to, by and large.
Yeah, every day we were outside playing 1-on-1. Luckily for us, there was like a local park, too, where they didn't take down the rims for a couple months. So you could walk there. So we'd walk there and go play some 1-on-1 in the backyard. We'd get shots up, and eventually someone would say something to the other brother, and next thing you know, the gun's down, everything's shirts are coming off, and it's just 1-on-1. So it's fun, and I love it. We're competitive, we're brothers, so we just try to make each other better.
You mentioned earlier about the transfers and everything. Is it more just fit? Is it more about finding your path? Because everybody's path, everybody's story, especially now, seems to be different.
Yeah, I started off at Charlotte, where my coach was Mark Price. He got fired. And so I left, went to junior college, originally committed to Washington State. Ernie Kent, he got fired. Then I went to go play for Jeff Capel at Pitt. And I just graduated from there, and I felt like there was a better option for me somewhere else in terms of basketball and things along that nature. And I thought Tulane was it. Obviously, I was blessed enough to have teams overseas be interested, and I ended up with Coach Dambrot in Duquesne. So it's definitely been a journey. But one thing I kind of love that Fred VanVleet says is bet on yourself. And that's something I think I do day in and day out and have done my whole career. So
You mentioned Fred VanVleet. Just from a professional standpoint, were there guys growing up that you looked at, or guys that you said, okay, I'm going to do the Vince Carter dunk, or okay, I'm going to do the fadeaway Mamba mentality? Just what did you look at? Who did you either in your mind model your game after, or now try to model things after?
I'm a diehard Kobe guy. Obviously, everyone knows I wore 24 at Pitt and 24, but here it's retired, so I have to wear 20. But I love Kobe. Definitely didn't model my game after him though. I would say I look at being lucky enough to train and hang out with Steph Curry, which is unbelievable and a blessing and a huge help in my career. I watch him all the time, but a guy I think I watch more of now is Fred VanVleet, actually, just because he's a smaller, thicker guy, kind of like myself. Does a good job getting into the paint and his creative finishes, and he can shoot the ball really well. So just watching him and how he moves without the ball, and I still love JJ Redick and how he's so efficient, and Clay, how they move without the ball, and how great of shot makers they are.
You mentioned 24 is retired. Was 8 also retired? Did you try to get number 8, or how did you go about, or did you just get to say, I'm just going to take the next number?
Yeah, I was just like, I'll just go with 20. I wasn't I wasn't trying to make any issues or problems, so I was like, I'll just take 20. It's close thing got 24.
Fair enough. Just for you, just developing your voice as a leader, when did you know that was a possibility for you? Was there a moment, or just how much do you pride yourself on providing that vocality?
I didn't hear you. What'd you say? I'm sorry about that.
With that vocality for you, just how was it finding your voice, and when was the moment you knew as a leader that you could have that voice?
I still think that's something I'm working on every day here. It's kind of weird. I'm an older guy, whatever you want to call us, a redshirt senior, because you get this year back. You know, I'm still working on it every day because, like I said, there are guys I can grab. Like I know I can grab Mike and be like, Mike, what are you doing, man? Like we gotta be here. And certain guys I'm not that comfortable with yet, where they might take it personal instead of like he's trying to help me. So it's something I'm working on every day, and I still have to get comfortable here as myself, being able to be myself and be a good teammate, be a good leader, be a teammate guys can go to for things. So it's a bond that you have to create. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's something that takes time, and that's something that it's forming. So
If the city game were to be held today, and you can't say it's going to go to overtime and end in a draw, just I won't ask you for a winner, but how do you think it would match up based on your playbook schematic experience?
I think it'd be a good game. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think it'd be a good game.
What has it been like with those two, with Coach Capel and now Keith, getting to experience two different voices that have very clear ideas on how they want things? Just what is it like being with those kinds of strong personalities?
Two totally different guys, but two guys who know how to win games and who are both great coaches. And they just do things differently. But obviously, they both get results, and I think they both do a good job of recruiting. So yeah, but two totally different guys, but both great guys, and I would never talk bad on Jeff Capel and Pitt. I'm an alumni, still played there, still a Pitt Panther, and now it just happens that I'm also a Duke.